Hello, everybody, and welcome to Red 2 Chatter, the show about everything Star Wars. And as you can see, none of us are wearing hats. There was like one episode where all three of us were wearing hats at the exact same time. And now we're having a session where none of us wear hats, so you can just see all of our
bad hair day.
Yeah.
For my age, I still have most of mine, so
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, most of mine starting to lose a little in the front there.
Receding.
Yeah, the troops are retreating.
falling back.
Falling
Troops are falling back.
So today we have quite a bit to talk about.
Enough.
Yeah, it's
Couple weeks worth,
yeah.
but still not very much coming out right now.
No, not like overflow.
A lot of it's rumor and speculation.
Not like some of our earlier ones when Last Jedi was coming out, and like every week we had like more than like 15 topics to talk about to get through. So the first one, and this one just makes me like, oh, if this is true, why?
Oh, yeah.
Disney considering splitting Star Wars Episode 9 into 2 movies. Why? Why? There's literally no point to doing that.
Unless it's really long.
No, even if it's super long, people will still show up.
Yeah.
I'm down for a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
or
I'll go to
3-hour,
like
10-minute movie, or
the Lord of the Rings type movie.
and I've noticed that it's been like a bad habit of Hollywood recently just to make especially if they're doing it off of a book.
well,
Like the last book in the series, they always
Harry
split.
Potter.
Yeah, they always split into 2.
what was the other one? The
Hunger
Games.
Games, Twilight was another one that they did it too.
what's that?
I didn't care about. Yeah, exactly. What the hell's Twilight?
Twilight.
But they-
I've never even heard of that.
They did do that, and I'm not even a fan of Twilight, but I know people who are, and they were like, why? Even they were like, why did you put that into 2 movies? Another one was Divergent another one? I don't know. I didn't follow that one at all.
I just know that, like, for Hunger Games anyway, the first movie is like, why watch it? Because everything happens in the second movie, it seems like.
Yeah.
There was all.
I mean, there wasn't, like, that much to the first part.
Oh, it's mostly just
of
world
the-
building. But even then, it
Right, but
doesn't
you've
do
already
much world
established,
building.
right.
It doesn't, like, you still have no idea what's really going on.
And then for
I hate those movies.
Harry Potter, I think it worked a little more successfully.
Yeah.
But there's a huge fan base for Harry Potter, and
The problem with Harry Potter, though, is that the first movie was so slow because they split it into 2 movies. It was so slow, and then the second, like, honestly, part 2 is the only one
payoff
worth
is
watching.
always in the second part.
Yeah.
So the first part's always a little lead up. There's just not that much drama and stuff that can happen.
Yeah. But
So I doubt seriously
yeah,
Disney would do that. They would split this last movie into part A and a part B. Now, when you're talking about part A and part B, as far as like Avengers, Infinity War, see, it's going to work out better because they sort of took that out of it.
yeah, they didn't say like Infinity War Part 1,
Right. It's just that was Avengers 3, Infinity War, and then there'll be Avengers 4 or something else.
Yeah,
Even though it's a continuation of that same storyline,
yeah,
they didn't come out and say it's just a 2-part
yeah.
movie. It's 2 movies you could watch independently of each other, I'm guessing, and still be good movies.
Yeah.
On both ends. So I doubt Star Wars. I doubt J.J. Abrams wants to do that, and I doubt Disney will do that. It's just what I think. Even if the movie goes long, just make it a 3-hour movie then.
Yep, make it some Lord of the Rings stuff.
Right?
Go Return of the King.
People are still going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can you squeeze as many movies in a day, to make the most money? No.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a great movie, people will go back and watch it, and that's where you make all your money anyway, is repeat viewing.
Yeah. So the next topic that we have is Dave Filoni talks about returning to the Clone Wars after having made Rebels.
Which I'm excited about this next season of...
Yeah.
Or this... I don't know, the final season.
Yeah,
This
you know
next
what they're
season
going
of
to call
Clone
it.
Wars.
It's really not a season because it's not like they're going to continue it after that.
Well,
I
it's
don't
only
think.
10 episodes, I think,
Instead of 20.
or something like that, or a dozen.
So Filoni says it's interesting because Clone Wars affects Rebels and that's progressive, but now I have to look at it in reverse and I have to look at all the things I did with Ahsoka and Rex and say, well, now I know these things happen, so how does that affect what they were like now that I'm back in Clone Wars? So I have to do this other time of engineering, which I didn't have to do before because Ahsoka in Clone Wars was always forward moving, and so is Rex. Their futures were undetermined, but now you know something about them, so that's different. That's new for new Clone Wars, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can figure it all. I can figure it all out.
I'm sure he'll
He
figure it
can
out.
figure it out because he
Yeah.
already had like Boba Fett. You had to do that with already in the Clone Wars, and any Emperor stuff. It's all stuff you have to
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan, yeah.
almost every other character in
Anakin,
there.
yeah.
It's just the new characters. I see what he's talking about. It's the new characters. When he was making it, he could do whatever he wanted with them.
Right.
Now he's got a little more constricted, even though it's not that constricted.
Right, because Rex and Ahsoka only lived in that time period of the Clone, like in the Clone Wars. Now they live outside of there
yeah.
in Rebels.
But I mean, both of them were just came out of the blue, really. So it's not that big of a. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal for him to figure out what to do with them or how they would act or react or whatever. I mean, Rex basically at some point decides, okay, this is a bad idea, and let's get out. He's getting
Or they cut their chips out.
yeah, and they take off.
Yeah.
So somehow him,
Wolf,
and
Gregor.
yeah, find out, and somehow they have to find Gregor because he freaking disappeared. They thought he was dead. He blew up.
Yeah.
So how the heck did they find him
see,
again?
so-
They have to wrap up Wolf and Gregor's storylines along with it. So
But Ahsoka's easy, really. She disappears and she disappears. I mean, she might
And then
come
you
back
can
in
use-
these if she can, but
Right. I mean, there's the novel that you have to
yeah,
pay mind
exactly.
to.
yeah.
you can use some of the stuff from the novel.
Yep.
Now, do you think?
But that's all after Order 66, the novel. is.
Okay, yeah.
So all of this is still going to take place before
Before-
the events of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So it
So,
shouldn't be too difficult for him to figure it out.
man, if I had a dollar for every time these theories jumped up, new Star Wars fan theory possibly reveals Rey's parentage.
No, jeez.
I'd be a millionaire if I had time.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go again. All right. Let's see.
is this the Han Kira one?
I don't know. Theory: Han reunited with Kira, cheated on his
Yeah.
then wife Leia, and had a child out of wedlock.
I don't think so.
No. 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 I'm gonna say a big on that one. I don't think so. Like, I don't know. That'd be way too convenient.
Well, not that, but it would totally destroy the love story between Han and Leia. So why, there's no way Disney and Lucasfilms would ever do it.
Well, it also sort of ruined, I guess, sort of in the same way the Luke and Leia thing sort of started and then got derailed when they found out they were brother and sister. Between Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a connection there. Now it's just through the Force, but there's still like in The Last Jedi, there's like some empathy and some,
yeah.
Up until the very end.
Right.
And then it's like, I think Kylo was still kind of hoping for some sort of relationship. And Rey's like, push the button on the door. Nope,
Yeah.
it's over.
yeah, pretty much shut them down. So.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're not still going to have some sort of connection in this next movie where they're... We'll see.
Yeah, I
Or can she shut him off?
Gonna play that like
Yeah.
yeah, maybe she's just will be strong enough in the Force she can just shut him out.
Yeah.
Because
We'll see.
unless, like I said, Snoke thought he was manipulating him. I think he started it, but after that, it became something they did. Either that or, like you got Dallin's theory of that's not the real Snoke who got killed. Who knows? I think it is, but we'll see.
Cloning technology exists, damn it.
True, it does.
It existed a long time ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just a theory, though. A Star Wars theory. So, we have Star Wars Rebels creator Dave Filoni weighs in on possibility of animated Star Wars feature film. So kind of like the first Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
Not the like almost nigh perfect one. The one that was, like the heck, shush. The one that was made back in 2006, 5, 6. So the one 2D animated one.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite piece of Star Wars media. I love that little mini series. It's so good. And I'm glad that they actually reference what happens that came before the Clone Wars series,
right?
And the movie with Ahsoka in it. I just like how there is still a very cut timeline going by. So possibility of a film. So it says, I think one of the things that we've been able to achieve with the Star Wars animation we've done is that the fans really accept it as part of the story, and the medium doesn't matter to the vast majority of them. Where sometimes people look at animation and think of it as something other or something different than the rest of the story. George always treated the animation we did as part of his story, and he was just telling it with this different paintbrush now. I think the fans have really latched onto that, but I think it's something that we've done, and we've tried to challenge ourselves to be great and push ourselves to try and meet that high level of the Star Wars films, dating all the way back to the originals. And when I see Dennis Muren in the hallway walking by, or Bill George, or any of the team that's worked on the originals, or John Knoll, who's worked on the prequels, I feel there's a responsibility to all of them. Len Hale, Howard Rothman, when he was here, the legacy employees, that we all continue to tell great stories and make them high quality in Star Wars, because that's what we've always tried to do as a company.
Yeah, so I like Dave Filoni. I think he's one of the best ambassadors for all of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
That there could possibly be, because he gets it. Him, even though it's animation, he still wants to make it serious. Have that feel that it's still a part of the movies or a part of the story that the movies are telling.
Yeah, the overall story.
Yep.
Hold up.
Somebody calling you?
Yeah, apparently. Shh. I'm just gonna mute that. I completely agree. I would love. I mean, like we talked about before, because it's been said that Kathleen Kennedy will eventually step down.
No, everybody does.
Yeah.
Yep, that was changing of the guard.
I still think that Dave Filoni is the best replacement. Next person to come in.
That takes away him from the creative side of it.
True.
Puts him into the business side of it, and I'd like to see him stay in the creative side. Maybe find somebody else.
Yeah.
For the business side. Just don't want that. I don't want that pool of creativity to disappear into the ether of the business side of it instead of the creative side of it.
Or just be you're so busy with the business side, the creativity suffers because of you're so busy.
And he's one of the guys that's great at the creative side of it, so I would say leave him where he's at. Or, you can put him in charge of all of the, head of whatever department that would be that does the brainstorming and coming up with new ideas.
Yeah, the writing. The writer's room or whatever they call it.
Now, if they were to make an animated movie, what would you want out of it?
Depends on what time period it's set in. Who knows?
Right, they could do it. I mean, that's a great thing with animation. I would actually like to see what takes place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to get some of that
in Resistance
through the Favreau series, but that's just going to be the Mandalore stuff. I think what takes place mostly on Mandalore. I'd like to actually see what happens with Luke, Leia, Han.
You can definitely do that in animation.
In animation.
Yeah, that's the only place you can do it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would mind seeing that. That would be would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I would like to see, knowing me, Old Republic stuff.
I wouldn't mind seeing that too.
Yeah.
Go back into the, when the Sith had their own planet, there was a whole bunch of Sith.
I think we're gonna get some of that, like
Eventually.
Warband or Korban stuff.
Yeah, Korban. It's Korban.
And then we're with the Benioff and Weiss one. The creators of
True. Game of Thrones.
That's a perfect setting for those guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Right. I mean,
take it more into the dark side of things.
I just see that being where they want to play. Like that's their playground. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's where they would want to play at. As far as where the lore rests right now in the Star Wars universe, that's the best place for them.
Yeah, and you can definitely take that more darker and more adult oriented if they wanted to do that. In that time period.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and you know, like I said, Korban was basically like Game of Thrones. You know, Sith Lords backstabbing each other and ploying against each other and making their apprentices fight each other. Yeah, it was always like that. So I mean, I would love to see something like that.
Yeah,
and I think with the, I'm just pure speculation. I think with the Rian Johnson trilogy, we're gonna get something advanced into the future of the Star Wars and like the evolution of the Force almost.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see like an evolution of the Force and how it's affected the galaxy in other places.
Yeah.
And, you know,
we'll see.
I don't know, because that just seems to be where he really likes to explore, is those Force abilities and like, you know, how the Force actually works.
Yeah.
So I just see that kind of where he goes. But I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. Like the next 5 years of Star Wars is gonna be insanely interesting.
I mean,
well, post this next episode 9.
Yeah, it's
gonna get really great. I mean, who knows where they're gonna go with it?
Yeah.
Rebels are like the thing with Rian Johnson is that Rebels already confirmed that Ashla and Bogan were things back in the ancient times, and that means that it's possible that there's Jedi and all that. So he could go really ancient with it, like the beginnings of
he could go
Force.
Further back instead of into the future. He could go
like
to
all
the beginning.
the way, all the way back to the very beginning of the Force.
Yeah,
and where it originated from and everything, with the Ashla and Bogan.
Well,
and the twin moons and all that.
I'm in the theory of the Force has always been there. It's just when did
people start using
it? When did beings decide to start using it and were able to start tapping into it?
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. That it's actually here. We just haven't tapped into it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm still trying. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Every once in a while, I just do that.
Yeah, I always try to grab my remote control off the coffee table.
Yeah, it never works.
Never works.
Then you have to lean forward. Yeah, I kind of have that awkward moment with yourself, like.
Grab it with me.
Nope.
Dang it. So this is a new picture from episode 9, which is this.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you a bunch of green screens with a little bit of stuff in front of it,
and all that.
All the overhead lighting, that's insane amount of lighting.
Yeah.
It's like, oops.
To light it all up. I mean, it is interesting. I'm telling you, I think Abrams...
6,000 watts, 6 lamps, and 3,000 watts, 3 lamps.
I think Abrams might have learned something from Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to
get more tidbits and more just tweets with just little tiny pictures of stuff you can't really tell what it is.
Right.
But it just keeps the fan base involved in the process.
Especially since we do have a year and a half still, basically.
Yes.
I mean, a little less now, but a year and a half till the movie comes out.
So anything well, I guess Resistance, the cartoon's coming up.
And the Favreau series should be coming out after the first of the year.
Okay.
Because that's when I think the Disney streaming service is supposed to begin.
Great. I'm having to buy another streaming service.
And have to subscribe again.
I like all these people like, I'm cutting the cord. Yeah, pretty soon you're going to be spending so much money on streaming services that it's no different than when you had the cord. Because you're going to need
You'll be basically paying the same if not
amount.
more than you were paying for DirecTV, cable, or Dish, or whatever.
Yeah. For all your streaming
services
services, if you want to watch everything you want to watch.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's
the great thing is you decide when you want to watch things.
Yeah.
True. That's the good part of it, yeah.
I don't have to tune in at 6 o'clock to watch a show, or even
have to
record it.
And then
you still have to wait till after 6 to watch it.
Yeah, and then I have to sit there and fast forward through the stupid commercials.
Right.
Oh, wait, no, we already watched this.
Well, we haven't talked about them.
Oh, yeah, true. So, we have the first look trailer of Star Wars Resistance. I noted that if you guys ever watched the Rooster Teeth original series Ruby, it basically looks, the art style is basically note for note the same as Ruby. Like the facial expressions, the character's movement, the shading, the lighting, and the models are all basically from that same, I guess, engine that they use for Ruby, which is cool by me because I love that look. It's very anime-ish, and very cool looking, and it's also really great for fight scenes too. So I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun with that. But other than that, what's actually in the trailer isn't much.
No. It's definitely going to be oriented towards younger kids, like 10.
Yeah,
8
I
to
still
10 year
watch
olds.
it.
8 to 12, 8 to
12.
13.
Yeah.
I'll still
watch it too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I know that Dave Filoni's involved, so I know we're going to get a lot of good story
Yes.
that ties in.
Yeah. And
You know, this is supposed to take place just a little bit before Force Awakens.
yes, and to keep up with the Star Wars universe, you have to watch it so you know the little nuances of things that have gone on.
Yeah.
That's why, like, just we're trying to read all the comic books and all the novels just to try to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like all the little tidbits, you know.
Yeah, even if it's not like the main story, it's just like the small things that happen in like a book that show up in a movie later. And if you don't know the little connection, then it doesn't hurt you watching the movie, but it makes the movie going experience even better
For those who have read it.
kind of like in what was it that they did recently where like there's a lot of Rebels references. Was it Last Jedi?
Well, it just
No, it was Solo.
Solo
Had a lot of
the Solo
references.
because
had
the
a lot.
Aura Singh death.
Yes.
You wouldn't have caught on to that if you never watched Clone Wars.
Yes.
You wouldn't even know who Aura Singh was unless you actually knew who she was from the prequels.
Prequels where she was there for 30 seconds.
If that,
That character.
10 seconds.
10
Yeah.
seconds
And
of
they
her just standing
flash by,
there.
My favorite bounty hunter.
Yeah, it was Han Solo.
Yeah.
And if you never watched Rebels or Clone Wars and you saw Darth Maul, you're like, how's he still alive?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you watch Clone Wars and
you
then
know. Yeah.
actually Rebels takes place after
And Rebels,
Han Solo, you
You
know
also-
where he ends up.
You also know where he ends up, in Rebels.
Yeah.
You
So-
just don't know that little piece in between Rebels and where you see him in Han Solo.
Solo. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only missing piece really to Darth Maul's story now.
Yep.
Is that chunk of time.
Yeah. I like the there's like one little scene here that has, I think, Phasma in it. I could be wrong, but I think it is Phasma because you just see her for like a second. Let me see if
And
I
it
can.
very well could be.
Let me see if I can pause it at the right time here. It's right there. Is that Phasma? Or is that just a First Order trooper?
Hard to tell.
Could just be a First Order trooper.
I don't see a
that's,
cape hanging off the back.
that's just under some weird lighting.
Yeah.
And also,
Because
it's
they're, like,
shooting
gold.
blue, which is interesting.
There's no cape, so I'm going to say no Phasma. Phasma
Yeah.
has a cape. And that looks more like a white uniform than...
Yeah, that's
Chrome.
just like glowing from
Yeah.
some other light
source.
source.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that it's shooting blue, though.
Oh, his blaster? Maybe
Yeah.
he picked up somebody else's blaster. and something
Maybe.
else.
Because, yeah, if you know anything, red is bad guys, blue is good guys. and in Star Wars, so...
Or green.
Or green, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Millennium Falcon shoots green, doesn't it?
No, TIE
no,
fighters.
TIE fighters.
In
TIE
space,
fighters shoot
it's opposite. In space, it's opposite.
Yeah,
Good
the
guys
X-Wing
shoot red,
right.
Yeah.
and
that's
bad
right.
guys shoot green. In space, it's opposite. That's how I always remember. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, yeah, I'm excited though. I'm excited for Star Wars Resistance. Looks interesting.
I'm just looking forward to it because I know there's gonna be some great like tie-in storylines that tie into Force Awakens and give us a little bit more on what that movie and might enhance watching that movie over again. Like you watching like, oh yeah, now I understand more about this Lor Santeca guy, or
Yeah.
who knows what they'll bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, I watched the Clone Wars cartoon before I watched, of course, Rebels. Now that I've watched Rebels, though, and I'm now going back and watching Clone Wars, you start understanding kind of how Hera got the way she thinks because of her father.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, you knew about it a little bit. Now I am watching it the second time. You see even more of where she gets her rebellion. How she got into the rebellion because that's her father was basically a resistance fighter on the Twi'lek homeland, so homeworld. So it's just amazing if you go back and watch things, you start picking up more and more and more.
Yeah. So I want this.
I'm gonna pick. Well, I'll get it because I have a pretty good sized Lego collection.
Yeah, but it's the new Lego set called Betrayal at Cloud City, and I'll just put up the pictures. But it's so
it's got four
complex.
4 sections.
Yeah.
4 little sections from the movie. It's got the landing pad with
Boba
Fett's Slave One.
It's got
a cloud car, which I think is cool.
Yep.
Yeah. It's got the meeting room right there.
That's where Han shoots at Darth and he pulls his thing away.
It's also got the droid room over there.
Yeah, with the Ugnaughts and where 3PO gets destroyed.
Yeah. Then you have the
dinner
scene, and then you have over here the what's that called? Carbonation.
Yeah. Frozen in carbonite.
Scene, and then you also have the Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker.
The How I Met Your Father scene, and then on the back side, I can't quite. That might be the. You'd have to. I can't see that back side of that one.
There's the carbonite. I also have Slave One.
No, it doesn't. It's not going to show you, so you can't really tell what that fourth one is.
That looks like IG-88.
I know. I see like IG-88.
Yeah.
Oh, is that maybe where the Ugnaughts are with the?
Yeah.
Where C-3PO gets blasted into pieces. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is the outside kind of balcony.
It's definitely pretty cool. It's got all the different.
Very complex. I like it. But yeah.
Where's Lobot?
He's on the back side of there.
He's followed up. Wait.
Oh, he's on the top.
He's on the very top.
Yeah, he's
right back there.
Yeah, right, almost where your
right
cursor
there.
was.
Oh no, is that him?
That's him.
That's Lobot.
Oh,
that's one of the cloud car pilots.
Ah, okay.
Out there.
Pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's a landing pad for the cloud car.
Maybe. But it's one of my favorite parts of Empire Strikes Back. Like that.
I want to go back to Bespin, man.
That whole scene.
Just one of these freaking animated shows. Go back to Bespin. We have not spent enough time.
That is one of them. Like the more, I don't know how you'd say it, like visually attractive friggin' cities.
Visually
appealing cities. It's really. If I could live, that's one of the places. Like if I couldn't live in some of the other places I like to live, Cloud City wouldn't be bad.
Right.
It just looks so like just everybody's like happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's going about their business now. You know, hey,
flying around.
I might be working, but hey, my job's cool. You know, the kind of place you'd like to work.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's in a good mood and happy to be there working.
Yeah. It seems pretty peaceful till the Empire shows up.
But I like it. And then now we have Star Wars Episode 9 to wrap up shooting in February 2019.
So they just started shooting August 1st.
They have a deadline, which is good.
So they're planning on wrapping up shooting in February. That's like 6 months of shooting.
That's a long shoot.
That is a long shoot.
It is a long shoot.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go to multiple places around the world to shoot. So that's where you can...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You'll eat up a lot.
There'll definitely be some travel. And I bet they already have, like, if you're shooting right now at Pinewood Studios in London...
Mm-hmm.
You know that they're building sets and wherever else they're going to be.
Yeah.
Be it,
would you say
Ireland or Tunisia again, or who knows?
Here's a question: where do you think the Resistance is going to go to try to rebuild? Are they going to go to? I would like to see them go back to Tatooine. I know they are. Yavin's going to be
in it.
Yeah, they're filming. And they're supposed to be filming at the same location where Yavin has been filmed before.
But I'd like to see him maybe go to Tatooine.
That would be cool.
They go to the Lars homestead and they're in there trying to figure out what they're going to do next.
There's
Go
just
to
some crispy,
Luke's old
crispy skeletons.
There's still the skeletons out there.
Swamp rats have
They're
eaten those.
bleached now.
The swamp rats have come and dragged those off.
They're bleached because of how much they were in the sun.
The sand people ate those guys a long time
Surely
ago.
somebody's
Bones and all.
Taken
claimed
over.
eminent domain on that household.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's got squatter rights and have taken over and started moisture farming.
Yep. I'm sure.
That would be cool, though. That would be cool to go back to Tatooine.
What about Obi-Wan's hut?
Oh, yeah.
Out in the middle of friggin' nowhere.
Yeah?
I mean, we know in the comics that Luke has revisited there after having been there.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
First time, like, he comes back and, well, Boba Fett, that's kind of where Boba Fett runs into him and figures out his last name's Skywalker. In the comic, I think that's what happened. But it's been a while since I've read. I haven't forgot to go back and read those issues. It's a good comic book. But I think Tatooine would be a cool place. I still think Endor would be kind of cool
Yeah.
to see again.
Yeah.
Go back to the Ewoks.
Yeah. Because you're just trying to gain support wherever you can.
Yeah.
Like, you're just,
And just trying to figure out what your next move is going to. I don't know. They might already be past all of that, though, by the time
They're
this
going
movie,
to be.
They're
There's going to be a
there's
time jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would have to happen. But it would be interesting to see maybe in a comic book where you went from there.
Yeah.
Something to fill in that gap.
There has to be something. There'll be something.
There'll be something at some point to fill
A
in that gap.
novel, comic
Comics.
book. There'll be a cartoon. There'll be something to fill in the gap
gap.
if there is one. And depending on how many years, I'm guessing years gap
Yeah.
between episode 8 and episode 9.
I mean, they could always go to that really freaking weird place on Coruscant, like where the city ends and it's suddenly just like this dark factory looking place. Just hide out there because it seems like nobody goes there.
Wasn't Coruscant one of the buildings that one of the planets the First Order destroyed?
No.
No, that was the Hosnian
No, that's right.
Prime system or
Yeah.
whatever.
A lot of people thought it was Coruscant. That was what a lot of people thought for a while, but then they oh no, it's not.
Yeah, it's Hosnian Prime, I think, is the name of that system that got destroyed. But they're definitely not going there.
Yeah. Is that our last topic, Dylan?
Yep,
that
is.
was it.
Okay.
So this was a pretty short one, but it happens.
That's why we're only doing it once every other week.
week now.
Yeah.
'Cause there's not a lot out there.
So I hope that you guys enjoyed this.
61st?
Is it 61st?
63rd, 62nd,
60,
somewhere
some-
in the
somewhere in
60s.
there.
Low
Somewhere in
60s.
Somewhere in the low 60s.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Red 2 Chatter. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. You can also check out our Facebook page run by this guy who does all the topics and stuff. So yeah,
Try to gather all the stuff for the shows.
you can read along with us, or you can just completely blast by us and not watch us at all, and just read that.
If you're stuck with us this long,
Yeah, but Jay, where can people find you?
find me over at Instagram at jwilsonbydesign. I don't have a whole lot going on over there right now. We're working on our other projects. My time's been consumed by that. My other free time, aside from gathering Star Wars information and
Working.
digging up all other kinds of Star Wars stuff. Yeah, well,
And go to work 40 hours a
well,
week.
work and sleep does
Yeah, suck a lot of time.
Yeah.
suck 90% of my time away.
Which we have kind of, I think we've given away what our project is.
Yeah.
But once it's actually done and finished and like out and ready to be like going, then we'll definitely advertise it on this show. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll plug it.
We'll just like put it. I don't know. We'll just put the book behind us or something. Like, yeah, go check out. But yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed. You can also check me out on YouTube as well. I'm Major Glitterix. Link down in the description below. Uploading has been a little bit slow as of late, but I'm getting back into it. This because of my puppy and stuff like that. So he's been kind of taking main priority right now, but he's getting better. So I'm able to have a little bit more free time now. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, though, and we will see you guys next time. Bye! Bye.
Laters.